shit is unbelievable. If we're getting somewhere, I think we're getting somewhere with IG.
What's
Yay!
up?
We finally got somewhere.
Right, finally. I don't know what's going
Yes,
on with all the rest of them, but hey, Instagram, it is what it is.
right. Hey, it ain't. I ain't even tripping. It's more than one way to skin a cat.
Right, for
I ain't
sure.
tripping. I'm just glad we finally got connected because I was getting worried a little bit. Like,
Right, like,
on.
hey, what's blocking it, but we got through, so
Oh
we
yeah,
got through.
ain't nothing stopping it. Ain't it? Trying to stop the divine's work is like an ant trying to stop a train. Can't do it.
You can't, for
Can't
sure,
do it. Might slow it down, but you ain't gonna stop it. You ain't gonna do that.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So it's your page, so I guess I'll let you do the introduction as far as what we're gonna be talking about today.
I mean, you can take it over. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that you do stuff is just phenomenal. The way you express things, is very articulate. But this was one of our shows, you guys. This is Atum, also AKA Natural Shaman. I'm Nairi Sanchez, AKA the Sia. This is our beginning of our show, Talking Tarot. We're both tarot readers. We're both intuitive readers. He's also a astrologist, very, very intuitive person. And so we're definitely clicking up with the Ashley Grounding. Well, I'm clicking up with the Ashley Grounding team. Shout out to Ashley's Grounding, which is his lovely partner and wife. And they've definitely been phenomenal in my spiritual journey. So I'm definitely excited to be here, getting the opportunity to, do a live with y'all.
Right, 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 right. Hey, it's definitely an honor to be on this live with you, and thank you for the invite. We've been trying to get this going for a minute now, so I'm
Yeah.
glad to see that we got the ball rolling with it. But what we was talking about earlier is about how it's a lot of these spiritual leaders out here that's really not doing the shadow work, and it's not just like like just the fact that okay they trying to help people. It's the fact that you can't even begin to help people if you ain't doing your own shadow work. And me and Nairi was just noticing that like that's an abundance out here these days, so
Yeah.
how do you feel about that, and what are some of the points that you've noticed when it comes to that?
Me personally, along this journey, I've noticed that a lot of people who are in this path are still very troubled people themselves,
Right,
and I feel like, everybody move at their own pace, so it's no judgment or nothing like that. But you got to know within yourself when you right and when you ain't. Everybody knows when their energy is off. Just like
right,
you wake up and you don't feel good. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Your energy definitely gives you the same type of receptors. You know when your energy is off. You know when you waking up today and you got an attitude and you don't like nobody. You know when you waking up that day, when somebody want to read and you look at their message and be like, I don't feel like that today. Those are the moments that you need to go inside and get in that humming mode and adjust that and fix that. And a lot of people on the spiritual path, they don't do that. They fail to do that. And a lot of them, they resort back to the same person with the same habits that they were before they realized they even needed to be on the journey in the first place. So I've definitely noticed a lot of that. A lot of that.
right, right. I have too. Me personally, I be finding myself having to check myself and fall back to like a whole like social media quarantine, social media distancing from time to time because it can just get overwhelming when you're dealing with so many people's different energies and then you still growing yourself, myself included. So it's like
Right.
we got to do some self-realization, self-reconstruction before we can even begin to present the message properly. You know what I'm saying? Because
Definitely.
that energy's got to be in alignment. Otherwise, that same energy that you holding on to, you could pass it on to somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? Even though
Right.
people, like, oh, let me just get this money for this reading, or oh, let me just get
Yeah.
this out the way. I'm doing $20, $50 readings, just jumbling up and mixing up other people's energy. Like it's like how you gonna judge somebody else's energy? And I don't even mean judge in a bad way, but be able to see somebody else's energy clearly when your shit is clouded, and I've been noticing it a lot. I be having clients come from other, gurus or shamans and stuff like that. And I'm just like, damn, this shit is like Jerry Springer, like beyond the internet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
For real though, that's real. That's
like,
real.
you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, I'm like, damn, me and Buddy was cool. Now we in spiritual warfare. Like, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so when it ain't right, you be having motherfuckers putting spells on their own damn clients when their spirits ain't right, you
Oh
know?
my goodness, yo, for real. Like you just hit on something because like you said, if you're trying to help somebody and your energy ain't right, that's kind of like the blind leading the blind, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of people with the high ability to teach and help and direct, but you can't feed somebody something you can't eat yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you the one cooking it up, you gotta be able to eat it too. And a lot of people they don't like to see themselves. You gotta be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you know you're still suffering from some trauma, you got to be able to admit that in order to get to the next place. This is why I check my own energy and I do my own readings. It's always good to get other readings too, but don't know, but shit, nobody know your energy better than you. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying?
Facts. And that whole self-reading, like Ashley and I, we pulling cards, like, like, like I be getting on Ashley sometimes. I'll be like, damn, you got to pull cards to go to the store? Like, shit, like,
Hey,
you know
people
what I'm
like that
saying?
sometimes,
You
man.
know,
Real.
you feel me? So I understand that, right? Because sometimes them emotions, like a card, like when I pull cards on myself, it's about certain types of energies. What a lot of people don't understand is that they not dealing with just their own energy. They dealing with the energy of the ancestors, how they feeling that day. You get what I'm saying? And
All
it's
that.
just like, you got to take the time to balance all of that, because all that is aspects of ourselves. And when you have individuals that are so powerful, not doing the inner work, not doing the shadow work, it really kind of taints the community a little bit, because as they demons, as they shadows come out, people start to want to always question or correlate whether or not you coming from a genuine point. You get what I'm saying? People can
Yeah,
try other individuals that's actually doing the work. It's hard for people to tell who's got the mask on and who don't. And I'm not sitting up here trying to bash people for what they done been through, because everybody's been through shit. You know what I'm saying? I done been through shit with my mom, been through shit with my stepdad, been through shit by myself. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
the whole point is being able to understand that, have an intervention with yourself first, and then take action to fix it. It's not enough just to be around here, basically trauma bonding with individuals. We got to be showing people actually how
Yeah.
to heal, so
I
that's
think a
what I
lot of
done
people
noticed
miss
about
the
it.
point of this journey, and they get it confused a lot with religion. I see and
Yes.
hear that all the time. And you get so many people, it's hard to break those trends once you've been in that mind state for so long. And a lot of
Hmm.
people miss the point of what this is all about. This is about coming in unison with yourself, knowing who you are, remembering who you've always been each time you visited this plane or this plateau. This is it's nothing new under the sun. And a lot of people they don't know how to balance the difference between the religious aspect of things, where religion even comes from, because religion came from spirituality. Spirituality did not come from religion. So a lot of times people get that misconstrued, and it's just like, well, you left religion just to believe in something else. No, I left beliefs to become in unison in reality with facts. Those are not the same things, and it's easy to get those lines blurred when a person don't know the difference. I used to be one of them that didn't know the difference, and hey, the ancestors be on my head. I'm telling you, like, even with myself, I've been battling with being able to balance myself with communication, because everybody know I goes off. Everybody know. Listen, I don't start no mess, but I'm always up for a good fight. Yeah, you feel me?
Right.
I don't care if I don't feel good. It was start head, start bonnet. Hey, what? They did what?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but the ancestors been on me like, look, we need you to get to take care of that. And I didn't want to do it because I'm like, what you gotta, did nobody care about my feelings when I was going through stuff? But the ancestors was like, well, how did that make you feel? So I was like, well, I had to eat that. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
can't run from yourself. So when they
Right.
put that back in my face, it's like, we need you to be more considerate of what other people may be experiencing, because at one point in time you was confused. You didn't know left from right, up from down. So you had to get to where you at. So when people talked about your religion, I was never offensive in the first place about stuff like that. As long as nobody was like messing with me when I was doing my thing, I didn't care. When people didn't believe, and I would ask them, well, why do you feel this way? I wanted to understand why they felt like I do now. You see,
Right.
I wanted to have a two-way street conversation. Whereas the people now that I'm on that side of the spectrum, now that they've come from religion, that I've come from religion and they're still there, they want to fight me and beat me up verbally. And after a while, you get tired of that. And it goes from, well, listen, I'm not trying to disrespect how you feel. You trying to have but then after you done got your head bit off for so many times, it's like, look, bitch, down with the spirituality, but I also got them hands too. So,
Right.
you
Right.
ain't gonna keep coming at me. But then you get in that energy and you get there for so long, and then it becomes a defensive mechanism all the time. So the
Right.
ancestors had to tap me on the shoulders like, yo, we need you to calm that down a little bit, balance that down.
Right. Right.
We can't take you where we need you to be if you're going to continue to embody that energy. And this is where a lot of spiritual leaders go wrong, because I could sit on the phone with somebody for 2 or 3 hours and tell them how they're still dealing with generational curses, how they're still embodying all these negative energies. I can't do that and get anywhere and be successful with it if I can't see myself and recognize when I'm doing the same shit. And
Right.
that's where a lot of leaders, they go wrong, spiritual people and that do what we do, reading and stuff like that. They want to be abundant. But abundance has nothing to do with money. Abundance is all about the value you have within you. How do you hold the value of the knowledge that you've accumulated, the overstanding and the understanding that you have right now of the path you're on? That's where the first abundance comes from. And you can't get to the material abundance until you first get the spiritual abundance, and that's where they messed up at.
Right. That's facts right there. That's facts right there. I don't I really don't talk about other people and put people names in it, right? But there's this cult leader, and this cult leader named Nature Boy and stuff like that. I don't know if you heard of him. Have you heard of him? No.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Well, it was like a trending thing like back in the day, like a couple years ago. And he's like got this whole cult where he's preaching all the knowledge, right? But like
Mm-hmm.
what's actually going on, which they broadcast it live, like everywhere they go, is like literally like some love and hip hop type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he got like 8 wives running around, and he got like 8 dudes that listen to him and stuff like that. I might be exaggerating the numbers, but the thing is, they be swapping wives around, and he be having the wives fighting and stuff like that. And it's like a whole like reality show. But at the same time, he get on and then try to preach people about his life and this ain't going right, and people can clearly see all of the dysfunction, all the generational curses being passed, the
Yeah,
disrespect, and all of that kind of stuff. And that I would say that that's like the epitome of what we dealing with, like on a major scale, with a lot of people that are like, trying to play that leadership spiritual position. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like they got all the knowledge, but none of the wisdom, which is actually applying the knowledge, is being used. And it just hurts to see that, because then it becomes not more of like you filling up somebody's cup, but more of like you kind of draining their energy, because they're not actually getting anything that can change their life, when all you have is like these beautiful words, and you can't really guide anybody in the actions as far as like how to actually affect their life. You feel what I'm
right.
saying?
You just
So
made a major point though, because the wisdom is always the first wealth of spirituality. And
yeah.
people see that Ten of Pentacles and they see that Wheel of Fortune and they like, oh yeah, that. But let me tell you, the first Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles is all about self balance and self wisdom. You can gain the Eight of Pentacles, you can get all the knowledge you want to get, but that people forget that Eight of Pentacles can also be in reverse. So
Yeah.
just because you got the knowledge, if you're not properly placing it where it goes, it's useless. So that's where a lot of people, they still walking around battling jealousy. They're still trying to be famous. And the thing is, when that is your destiny, that's not something you got to fight for nobody else's spot to have. You don't have to be fighting
Right.
somebody else's position, fighting against nobody else's gift, fighting against nobody else's strength, fighting against nobody else's talent. Because if you understood or understood and overstood your own position in this. If you were a true high priestess or a true high priest, you would understand that your journey is for you, and what is for you will not miss you, and what is not for you will fall to the wayside because that's not for you. You're not going to be looking at somebody else and be like, well, why I can't do this? Why am I failing? Why they? All of that stuff is still people who have not come to that one, but they have the knowledge so they can talk about it. But the wisdom is missing, and this is why a lot of people can't prevail doing what we do because they don't get that part. That's where
Right.
the imbalances come in.
Right. I see it a lot with like men in particular. You get what I'm saying? Because it's very few far in between. Like you see men doing what we do. You get what I'm saying? And not just to make it all about men, but one thing you can really look at though is like, okay, like look at the things that are invaluable within his life and how is that going? You get what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
when I think about a lot of these different spiritual leaders and stuff like that, like where are they successful relationships with people that they got intimate relationships with? You get what I'm saying? Are they able to show that in a positive light? Do they even talk about it? Is it a story of like, oh, I had to disconnect? There was this one dude. You get what I'm saying? This one dude, and literally dude would get on and he would have these powerful rants about changing and all that type of stuff. And
Right.
he had me at one point because I was just like, oh, bruh spitting that shit. And then he was just like, I had to turn my back on my daughters. Yeah, I got daughters all under 12 years old. I had to turn my back, disconnect from them. I had to turn my back on my own family in order for me to get to this point where I'm at. And I'm just looking at like, okay, like where's he at? Buddy in his car by himself, smoking a blunt, ranting on Facebook. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, he building and coming and with the light and stuff like that. But look at the sacrifice. There's no balance there. You feel what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
you don't have to turn your back on your own family in order to reach quote unquote enlightenment. And to see people pushing that, it's like the succubus type energy of like, okay, in order to elevate, you literally have to turn your back on the people that you got the most intimate connections with. You get what I'm saying? Or people you supposed to have the most influence over your life. And I just thought that was some weak ass shit. Like, you feel me? Like,
Right.
not trying to hate or anything like that, but it's like that the words and the actions, they gotta be in alignment to the point where it produces growth and it's breaking generational curses, because it's almost like you bragging about enforcing a generational curse as a part of your ascension. And that's completely opposite of how it's supposed to go. The family, that's like the first, you got to have that first foundation. You feel me?
That's
Like,
right.
just if you want to know if he a legit guru or shaman, look at bruh family. All right, he shouldn't have kids scattered everywhere. I mean, I'm not saying people gonna have make mistakes and shit like that. Yeah, people make mistakes
Right.
and stuff like that, but if you at the point where you're neglecting aspects of yourself that you're supposed to be involved in on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis to try to create this public image of perfection, then
Right.
we got another story coming. You know what I'm saying? And I just been noticing that a lot. And when you brought it up, like all of that just started popping to my head. Like, damn, like
Yeah.
it ain't that many
I've
real
had
ones
some
out there.
hands-on experiences, man. I'm telling you, I've had to literally, some of the people that I thought were very serious and intimate with this journey, I had to learn the hard way that, these people still they're still suffering from things that they haven't either learned to accept within themselves. But like you said, a lot of times it's all about the image. Because a lot of people they know how people flock to energy. And energy is powerful. Like the abilities that we have is all energy, but it's powerful energy. So yes,
Right,
people look to it, people flock to it. But it's no reason to take that and dress yourself up with it and then hide all your damn worms and spiders, and your roaches, and you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because then you
right,
ain't being authentic with the divine, and you can't allow them to the divine. So the divine will strip your ass naked and still will shame you. And people will be looking like, this is why so many celebrities get exposed, because they put this image up. And then, like, next thing you know, it's like, damn, he got 6 other kids, or damn, she been messing around with his brother for 10 years. But everybody looked at that image and was like, damn, I want to be like, just for instance, with this Cardi B and what's her Offset thing. Some people talking about that. They keep talking about, well, she was he was just cheating on her. They just got a divorce and now they back together and she's pregnant again. But most people, Mindless behavior is what they take to. Stuff like this that we're on, it's like, yeah, it's cool, but they can't differentiate the two. Because you got so much mindless behavior and you got so many people still with that same behavior coming into this era or coming into this side of things on the spiritual, and they're bringing that mindless behavior with them, and they're
Right.
feeding other people blurred lines of it. You know, I get so many people that call me for readings, right? And it's like, we just had a reading about this. So you think that
Right.
this changed in 2 weeks? No. Your energy says you need to separate yourself from this and let this person get themselves together. You know, I don't tell people you'll never be with this person. I tell people
Mm.
right now it's not a good time. This is not looking like this is going to be, successful. So if you stay in this relationship, you're headed for disaster. This is your choice in your life. But people like to see this Cardi B and Offset image. Oh, well, next thing you know, now they going back to something they know is toxic because they done seen somebody out in the public front do it. So this is why,
Right.
as spiritual leaders, it's important for us to always be cognizant of what we're putting out there. And this is why I appreciate this journey, because them ancestors be on my head like, no, you ain't doing nothing horrible. But for what we want you to do and the way we want you to represent yourself, you need to be going in this in a way to where you can reach certain people. Because you know me, I was like, I ain't trying to reach people. And the ancestors was like, shut the hell up. Yes, you are. You ain't, but we make it. This is why we got you on this journey to reach people. But I'm like, but I don't want to reach people. Why I gotta be? You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, when set it off, or when with Cleo and Stony got into it, and they was like, we gotta go pick up Stony, and Cleo was like, I don't want to get go nowhere. That was
Right.
my attitude. Like, I don't want to be responsible for. I ain't trying to reach nothing. Let me be,
Right.
stuff fizzle. But the ancestors was like, no, you have a mission, Miss Sanchez, and you're going to have to do it this way because we have you on this path for a reason. So it's important for us to always be able to make sure that we're presenting things in a way of clarity for other people, because it ain't all about what you say. Like you said, it's about what you do too.
Right, right. That's facts. That's facts. You know, a big thing that I noticed, right, is that when that energy ain't right, it's gonna be always something that kind of like pop up and keep you from like kind of connecting. Like, a perfect example is with old buddy, old dude. Well, you know what? I ain't even gonna bring buddy name into it. I ain't gonna bring buddy name into it. But just know this, like, it's almost every dude that I done tried to build a healthy masculine relationship with
Yeah.
on the spiritual tip that's supposed to be like in a position of leadership, it's never actually clicked out. And I'm trying to figure out like, yo, this shit can't be because of me. You get what I'm saying? It can't be because of me, because I'm coming with genuine information. I'm coming with genuine knowledge. I'm coming with genuine emotions, just trying to like build with a
Right.
brother. You feel what I'm saying? And you notice that the energy gets a little bit more awkward the closer and closer that you try to get, because it's like they trying to hide something. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like they trying to
Yeah.
hide some type of energy that they don't want individuals seeing, that they know if you get too close you're gonna see that. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? And lo and behold, as we start to separate and shit start to get cut off, now it gets exposed. Now they clients coming to me talking about how they engage with them sexually, doing, supposed to be spiritual cleansing rituals, and how, man, it just gets so messy. Like,
Yeah,
just, but
you be having
it's
all that
everyone
teaching,
though.
but
It's
you know
every
it's sad because you take something and you taint it. Like, spirituality is not politics. Religion and politics is politics. But
right,
spirituality is not. It's not supposed to be about politicking. This is really supposed to be a genuine, a cleansing, a place where people can really heal and get in tune with themselves and get in tune with their, family culture, and bring them back to a stable place of a reality of a cognizant frame of mind, so that they can see things in a way that's natural to them. All
right,
the stuff that we've been forced to believe, forced to see as what's real and what's not, like the word faith. When you think about that, faith, religion, all the stuff that we've been crammed down our brains from day one. It's all the stuff that we've been eating this stuff forever. So it's like now we got to go on a mental and spiritual and emotional detox. And some
right,
people start to have withdrawals when they get on this journey because they start missing the drama. They start missing, the what they used to do because that's a comfort zone for them. So as a
Right,
spiritual
right,
leader, it's important to understand that this is not going to be a comfortable ride just because it's spiritual. That
right,
don't mean you're not going to bust your ass. That don't mean you're not going to resort back to cussing, to doing whatever it is that you feel you need to do to cleanse yourself. With me, it's my attitude, and trust me, I have been working on that. Some of it I have not been working on because I didn't want to deal with it because I was like, leave me alone. I don't want to change that right now. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But
right.
it's important for me to let people know that we don't arrive nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my reading earlier for myself, it's a constant. Just we live in a whole galaxy. There's no way in hell us in this form are aware of everything there is to know about all of this that embodies who we are on this planet. So
Right.
that being said, you don't never graduate from spirituality. You continuously ascend. When you get to the point where you can't ascend no more, that's when you change forms. Which means
Right.
you're no longer you have nothing left to do in this body. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Some people cut their time short because of their lifestyle. And then there are some people who continue to stay and choose to stay on that path because it is a choice. And I tell people all the time, healing is a choice. It's your right, but you have to make that decision. People I lit the candle, it didn't do nothing. Well, are you ready for it to do anything? Because the
Right.
candle is not going to do your work for you. You need to put your intention out there. That's what's going to come back and bring you results. Just like it's the scripture in Isaiah 55:11. I believe it's 10 and 11. It says, so the word that goes forth from my mouth shall not return to me without results, and it shall not return to me without the delight that I put into it. All of that's talking about is manifesting. And in the Bible, they wrote it out like some big old human being in the sky done said it. But really what religion has done was taken away our own ancient knowledge and wisdom and turned it into politics,
Right.
turned it into pagan beliefs and all of that other stuff.
Oh, you got to go through the Father. They don't nobody get through to heaven without the Father or the Son. You
You
get
know
what I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying?
Leaving out
Like,
the mother and
come
all
on
that. The
now.
whole shit is perverted when you really think about it. Like on the spiritual level, it's just like, damn. Like they really went in and tried to fuck us up on the spiritual tip with that,
And
And
they did a hell of a job.
right. You made a good point though about damn what you said. You were saying that the journey, it's like people waiting for like a destination, a place to arrive to. And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about what religion does, it's like, oh, I done got saved. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done got
Okay,
saved. That's it. Fuck
I ain't
it.
got
Now I'm about to
to
just judge
say,
motherfuckers. You feel me?
I'm the elder, I'm the first lady. The first lady
Right.
for what?
Right. And now they
Saved,
just right.
saved for what? Because if a meteorite hit this planet right now, your ass blowing up with it too. What do you say? People, and these are the ideas that have been stuffed down our throats for so long. Some people they bring those blurred lines into the purity of spirituality and granted. People say the
Right.
same thing about religion. Well, religion is good, but it's the people that make it bad. No, religion is tainted.
Right.
Religion has taken every natural antioxidant that spirituality was designed to have. Religion has poisoned it.
Right.
So the people can't be poisoned if religion ain't poisoning it. Because when
Right.
you were born, you didn't know nothing about all this stuff. So
You
you could
didn't.
not have been a problem to religion if you didn't know about it. You had to learn about it. No,
Right.
you ask a child 2 years old that's never been to church who about Jesus, they're gonna look at you like you crazy. Who? You show them a picture that's been painted of Jesus, they're gonna look at that and be like, "Mommy, who is that? Daddy, who is that?" This stuff has to be given to us. So religion was spoon fed to us. It was spoon fed to it. So no, it's not the same thing. Where spirituality, you was born with that.
Right.
Even in the Bible, it tells you that man has a law according to nature. Now, what the hell does that mean? See,
That's
people,
the spirit right there. That's the spirituality right there.
there it
Motherfuckers,
is.
right. The whole
So what
structure
happens
of religion
according
is
to nature?
fucked up.
See what I'm
Right.
saying? they said you have a law to nature. So why do we need all these other laws if we already have a law of nature? That means the natural, our natural innate selves, we're already automatically connected to the laws of nature. So is above is below. So tell me, at what point in time did we need religion in the Bible? What, when?
Right,
How? When
right.
did we need that to be moral people? Because most people don't went to war in the name of their gods, using their Bibles with a Bible in one hand and a gun in the other, and a flag. Clearly, the
Right.
Bible religion don't give you morals. You see, so yeah.
Facts. I mean, I already like since when I was a child, as I was a child, see, I was questioning everything. They couldn't stand me up in the church because, like, I would be, I would ask so many questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would ask the
Yeah,
questions. They ain't want. I'd be like, man, can I talk to the deacon? Can I talk to the pastor? Because I just need to know. This don't make no sense to me. You get what I'm
right.
saying? And because it's just so much contradictory shit in there. And when you start bringing that up, it just starts to poke holes in the whole ideology of it. And even just having to get dressed a certain way. Like as I was kid, I'd be like, damn, I'm hot as fuck in this shirt. I don't like these tight ass shoes that I gotta put on. You know, I like
Man,
the whole experience was just like spiritually draining as a child for me, you know. And then to see people get up and do all the extra shit and then see all of this, how can you put it? Like you said, like the church politics, like the whole social demographic or the whole social dynamic of the church within itself is like this toxic type of energy. You get what I'm saying? It's like it's like a whole facade of this holiness, right? But behind it is all of the generational curses. Behind it is all of the toxicity, just trying to keep up the facade, you know. And I
exactly.
really like that's like one of the biggest things that's hurt us as a whole group of people. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Man,
man,
it not only hurt us, it has diminished. I was watching a video, I can't remember her name, but she made a very good point. She said, our people are not, we think that we're living now, and we're nowhere remotely close to the rich people. And I ain't talking about money and wealth, the rich spiritualness, the spirituality that we had back then, we embodied. We ate from the earth. We didn't have all these chemicals and all this stuff in our body. Now you got, and she made another good point. She said, there are no natural disasters. She said, there is no natural disasters. She said, when you take the earth and you move all the nature out of it and you put houses there where the earth is supposed to have natural land, she said that land is going to come. She said sooner or later Mother Earth is going to come back
take
and
that
bring
back.
karma. And she said it doesn't matter if it's 100 years or 1,000. And they call them
Right.
natural disasters. She said there's no such thing as that. You know, and I felt her, it was like, I loved watching her, you know, because she brought so many things home. But the purity of all of the natural things that we have in our possession, we take for granted every single solitary day. You know, just to
Hmm.
go and taint ourselves with all of this mind, and I call it mindless behavior because you can't be thinking clear if there's a lot of these, for instance, people that still that know they battle with envy and jealousy. A lot of people, they don't want to admit that. That's something I've had to deal with from so-called spiritual people. You know what I'm saying? You know, trying to throw blockages my way. You know, trying to be discouraging to me when I a certain thing. So it's like, how can you say you're a spiritual person for real, but you're trying to block your fellow sister or your fellow brother? How does that work? We supposed to be one holding up the next. This is supposed to be a bridge.
It
But
became a competition. People think it's like it ain't enough energy going around. Like everybody, when it's like even when you in the same field, that same rat race mentality of like there ain't enough space for me unless I kick a motherfucker out. That whole mentality within itself right there is fucking us up. Like it's done carried over. I didn't mean to cut you
so,
off, but I
yeah,
feel what you're saying.
no, but you on point. It is carried over, and this is, you know, what I've seen with a lot of so-called spiritual leaders. You know, it's almost like we come. Some of them come in with that same church mentality. The pastor, you can't tell people a bunch of gibberish, and then they look at you. You know, like I had somebody I was close to, and this person, you know, granted, I try not to, you know, speak down on people, but if you fucked up, you fucked up. It just is. If you ain't
Right,
gonna admit it, I'm gonna admit it for you because I can admit where I'm. I can admit my own stuff. And I tell
right,
people, don't think if I can talk about me that I can't and won't talk about you. The thing is, I
right,
do it to your face. I'll let you know I'm
right.
talking about you. But this person, I wanted to encourage her so much, and I did all of that. And this was the same person who tried to turn around and throw dark energy at me. And I'm just like, why? I'm trying to push you like I was trying to do what I'm doing with y'all with her for months. For months. About 6, 7 months, I tried to do this with her, what I'm doing with y'all. Trying my best to do. So when she started seeing me do this with y'all, it was definitely a jealousy there. And I had to
Yo,
stop dealing with it.
so many people jumped out of the woodwork when we popped up with this, and so many people didn't want to, really like take it serious. And
Yeah.
and you see that like individuals that we was actually trying to build with to bring them in, they got other people doing spells and shit against us, and people making fake accounts and all that kind of
Oh
shit
my goodness.
underneath
I'm
our
trying to
business
tell you.
name. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, damn, like we actually invited your ass in and your ass was being awkward about it. But see, not everybody ready to start building with other people. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's something that's really hard for us to overcome, like as a people, like always thinking that we gotta be the best nigga or the head bitch in charge or whatever you want to call
Right.
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that mentality right there is fucking us up. Because if you think about how much we could build if we was like all organized versus splitting up into these different cliques and shit. Like I'm noticing like these different
Politics.
cliques. And it's not even like we tried to click up like Access Grounding is a whole spiritual clique. Like it ain't like we did that shit on purpose. This is the result of what happened after we done mingle with other people's energies and they done separate themselves naturally or expose themselves that they wasn't really genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like it happened that way. So I feel like until we get over that, like that's gonna be a big hump for a lot of people.
But I look at it like this. Just like in the Bible when it talks about separating the sheep from the goats
Mm-hmm.
or recognizing the weed from the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, my problem, I don't have a problem with the Bible. What I do have a problem with is the way that it's being taught to people because it's being taught in a way that's deceptive. And it's
Yeah,
causing
true.
people to develop mental psychosis, believing in a lot of this shit that's not even real. But as
Facts.
far as the genuine wisdom you can take from it, which comes from our ancient wisdom anyway, you feel me? So
Facts.
it's just a modern wisdom of our wisdom, ancient Kemet proverbs, African proverbs anyway. So this is why I'm using that, but it talks about being able to separate the weed from the wheat. And a lot of times when you are a genuine person or you are genuine people, it takes for something to really trigger that moment for something to actually come up out of the ground and show you exactly what kind of seed you're dealing with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? One thing I'm gonna say is I love you and Ashley. Like y'all have become like brother and sister to me for real.
We love you
Because
too.
it's definitely difficult in anything that you do out here in this world. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's religion, spirituality, or whatever, music industry, the Hollywood. It's hard to really come across genuine people who's not trying to take from you, who's not trying to bring you down, who's not trying to break you, who's not trying to steal your confidence, who's not jealous of your talent. It's hard to come across that. People
You
that just want
right.
to build you up. And you guys were that tribe for me. You feel me? You always that four of wands energy for me. That complete circle. And unfortunately, some of the people that was attracted to y'all was attracted to the energy because the energy is built for it tough. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Y'all have a powerful, strong connection and energy with the divine. People can sense that. It's just that when they get in with y'all, they can't appreciate it. They can't appreciate it because they're still battling with their own Gemini, Aquarius, Libra energy, that source energy and tarot. But I gotta say this much: people will always expose themselves to y'all because y'all are genuine. You
Right.
feel me? And I've had to deal with the same thing, and this is why it's healing for me to even be connected with the Groundings team because y'all are destined for greatness. And for the people who are short-sighted of that, that's not your fault. That's their fault. And people will get jealous and envious because they don't have the muscle to stand where y'all at. Y'all ain't got to do nothing. All y'all got to do is what y'all always do. Y'all are attracting all kind of energy to yourselves. And unfortunately, all of those energies are not good energies. Some of them are toxic, but some of them are genuine. And it's sad that you got to pick through and be like, damn, why I got to go? You got 100 bad seeds just to get to the bottom and find 2 or 3 good ones, you know? But
Right.
y'all,
You notice
damn,
we slowed down in that whole apprenticeship because it's like, damn, like the people that we connect with, like we really develop like emotional attachments, like we family.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And that shit can be heavy though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people, like it's like when we connect with people and we get to helping people, and it's not even about, oh, like I just want to be in this position to help people. Like, no, it's like about watching everybody grow, being able to see everybody
Right.
with the same interest, develop. But it's like, if people ain't ready, then they just gonna start to feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And that uncomfortable causes whatever it is that's in them to expose itself. You feel me? It's not, like I said before, it's not like we chose to click up and do what we doing.
But that's when you know it's genuine. You see what I'm saying? Because again, there's been people I came into contact with during this process with y'all. And the bottom line is people don't do their shadow work. They
Right,
don't do it. It's not
right.
they think that they can do one thing, burn a candle, do a chant, sleep with a meditation music, take a spiritual battle. I'm fixed. No, you're not.
Or
That's not fixed.
do the whole spell and still sleep with the dude. Like, you know what I said? I like, how you gonna pay for a whole separation spell and still sleep with buddy? Like, I mean, like
Because
I'm just like,
they
I ain't
ain't
trying to get messy, but that's like counterintuitive. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
right. Because they're not ready. And see, that's the thing. These are the same ones that want to be where you at. They want to be where Ashley is. They want to be where I'm at. And then they're mad because they can't embody that type of stable energy. And it's like, well, I can read too. Who said you?
right,
I didn't know
right,
we were supposed to be in competition with one another. You know, I didn't
right,
know I was being compared to you. I didn't know this. You know,
right.
but that's how you know they're not ready. That they don't be ready. Because you know what? Out of all the time I've been working with y'all, I already know y'all powerful. I already know y'all are Trump type of what y'all do. I don't
You
question
powerful
that.
as hell too now. Like, I be like, damn. Like, people be coming to me like, they be like, man, let me tell you about Nairi. She's something else, man. Like, literally everybody that I needed to talk to, you was able to relay that message. You get what I'm saying? As far as connecting with people through your mediumship abilities, like that's real shit right there. Like, so I don't, like, you are the only individual that I would refer other people to, as far as like when it comes to that, because I don't trust too many other people as far as with their abilities and stuff. Like, I refer Ashley for readings and stuff like that, and I refer you for mediumships. But like, outside of you and Ashley, there's
Right.
nobody else that I'm referring to, because I don't trust nobody else with other people's energy. If I'm sending somebody, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They take a certain level of trust, because I
Yeah.
know how people is. People will just try
Yeah.
to take people money and just tell them whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And there's so much of that going on out here that it's just like, damn, like, I don't want to be the dude that's constantly like, beware the wolf in sheepskin and all of that type of stuff. Everybody's sitting up here talking about they bringing light and energy and all this kind of stuff. I be having people talking about, yo, I paid this person for this spell and ain't shit ever happened. Or I paid this individuals for the spell and they talk about, I need more money so that they can light up more candles and all of this stuff. And it's just like, damn, like, it's really rough out here. Like, people is really out here like using this shit to like scam people. And it's just like, damn.
Yeah. And then they make it bad and harder on people who's genuine like us. Because I've had people come at me with that too. I had one lady come on one of my ads and say something slick to me, and I read her, like, off rip. I said, ma'am, I ain't gonna even say what I said. But I told her business. Because I was just like, don't come at me telling me I'm fake, because let me show you how fake I am, because I see your energy, and let me tell you what I get out of your energy. She didn't come
Right,
back. She didn't
right,
come back. I bet you that much. I bet you she didn't say nothing else. She got
right.
real quiet after that because I put her business out there. But don't play with me, because you can't make this stuff up. Some people, they do. But unfortunately, this is something that I've dealt with since I was 3 years old. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And people don't, and I get mad at people when they play with this, because this shit had me in mental institutions when I was younger. It had me getting my ass whooped because I didn't want to go to bed, because I was hearing voices and shit. And my family thought I just wanted to be, you know, rebellious. And I'm like, oh, it's some of us. Then I was being told, well, that's them demons. Why, what the fuck would you tell a child that? I ain't
Right.
talking about demon was back then. But then you go
Right,
to your
right.
church, you go to the Kingdom Hall, and you see these pictures of what the devil's supposed to look like, and it's scary. So now I'm really messed up because now that image is in my head, and I'm like, with Jehovah, with Jesus, now I'm calling on other people's ancestors to come in thinking they finna help me, and they making the shit worse. That shit
Right.
drove me nuts when I was younger. And people have no clue what that's like if they don't genuinely have those portals open to communicate and connect with the other side, because there's different forms of life. The
Hmm.
physical realm is only one. So I think that a lot of spiritual leaders are definitely messy as hell and
Yes.
are definitely full of shit, and I think a lot of people should be very skeptical about who they pay their money to, who they trust with their information, and who they trust with their energy. Because there's a lot of politicking going on out here, and the lines are very blurred between spirituality and religion. And I think people like us are able to make a clear distinction, but we are the rare gems. So a lot of people, it's like they come across us, it's like people jump over quarters to pick up pennies. You know,
Right,
they'll
right.
come to you, but when you tell them what they need to hear, it's like, well, okay, thank you. And then they call in 10 other people so they can lie to them.
Exactly. People will pay to be lied to. Like I've literally got clients that tell me like, I got another reading and they said that everything was going to be okay and all of that. I'm like, okay, so you got another reason to have somebody tell you that the shit was gonna be all right when you can clearly see and feel that this shit ain't going the way it's supposed to be going.
I got
And
to pull these cards out. I got to pull them out. Keep talking.
like the crazy part about it is people will set up these little systems within what they given to people, and within it is a codependent program. You feel me? And that
Right.
codependent program is not to help the individual, but it's to maintain just enough of a connection so that they'll constantly come back for more and more of, I guess, that same feel good shit that people pay the tithes to the church for. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
A whole elusive lie. That's the 10 of swords, right? Now, stuff like this to
Mm-hmm.
come out during somebody's reading. The 10 of swords, the 3 of swords,
Mm-hmm.
the devil, and the 7 of swords. And
Right.
these be people that's saying, well, you think it's going to work out? Ma'am, let me tell you what's coming out in your reading.
Right.
And then it really means. Let me
They in
tell you.
denial.
And even when you tell them this, that your dude is not an honest, he's a liar. He's not an honest person. That this person is definitely not being faithful to you. They're not being true to you. They're not being loyal to you. They're lying to you. They're completely being deceitful and deceptive. And they're completely betraying you. They could definitely
Broken
be
hearts.
okay. All of that. And then this is the ultimate betrayal.
The
So
Ten of
you
Swords getting stabbed in the back. You
you
can get
feel
them that
me?
reading 3 times in the same week, and they'll come back and tell you, you know what? I decided to go ahead and get married.
They be calling you back. Then they be calling you back 3 months later. Oh, this person ain't no good for me. Well, I told you that about 6 times,
Hmm.
before you could decide to do that. But this is why I don't do repeated offenders. Now I understand people have, they try to work through things. I'll deal with that. But I
Hmm.
don't do repeated offenders. People that want to keep calling me with the same shit. I don't get mad at them. I just don't respond because it's like, yo, why do you think that this person done changed in 3 months? And this person been like this for 6 years with you?
Right. Facts.
You
Facts.
feel me?
Hmm.
No, it don't
It's
work
the
like
people.
that.
People can't get out of their little paradigm what they caught up in until it's like they need some type of Uranus moment. I call it Uranus moment, a moment where it's like a catastrophic event to where what
Right.
they doing on a day-to-day basis has to be shifted and completely turned upside down in order for a change to happen. And until that Uranus moment happens within their life, they're gonna keep coming with the same type of questions because they not willing to step outside of their comfort zone, like you were saying before. A lot of people get caught up and they comfortable with toxic relationships. They comfortable with dealing with an individual being deceptive and lying to them. They get used to that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some people just don't want to be alone, and that's just about the relationship aspect of it. But that
Right.
same energy of comfort zone affects so many different aspects of life.
You know, and this is definitely a subject that definitely needed to be had. I'm looking for my I wanted to do us a oracle
You want to do an
before
oracle reading?
an everyday oracle. I wanted to pull. Oh, here it is in my face.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, but definitely there's a lot of spiritual people that's walking in our shoes that they don't do their own shadow work. They have nasty attitudes towards people. And the bottom line is you can't be like that and say that the ancestors is guiding you. You got to constantly check yourself every day. This is a
Right.
everyday thing, checking yourself, checking yourself. And a lot of people don't do that because they're too busy checking everybody else, checking everybody
Checking.
else.
Right, right.
You
I
know,
can't even do it like that shit because like when you really in this shit, like constantly checking everybody else, you start picking up on they fucking energy. You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like it's certain
yeah,
individuals that like I don't have nothing against them, but I don't want to see they post. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
you feel what I'm saying? Like I ain't got shit against people, but I just can't be constantly checking up on individuals because I be tapping in too fucking much. Like, you know what I'm
That's
saying? I got
how
my
I'm
own
preserving
shit to be
my
worried
energy.
about.
I'm completely preserving of my energy, and I ignore a lot of things and a lot of people, and it's just simply like that. You know, listen, your session is done. I'm not about to answer 50,000 questions. No, I'm not about to answer this question. No, I'm not about to interpret your. No, certain people I will connect to. I know when my cutoff point is, but a lot of people I ignore that because like we
Right.
ain't friends. You know what I'm saying? This is
Right.
business. You see,
Right.
so
People be trying to establish that friendship relationship, and I feel like off bat right there, that's kind of like I get this user energy. You feel what I'm saying? Like right off bat, motherfucker just come in my inbox just asking me questions, and I'm just like, I can answer like one or two questions, but when the questions keep coming, I'm like, look, you need to either book a reading or get the fuck on
I don't
through
even respond.
because
That should be
like,
sitting there catching, collecting dust, because I don't even bother with it. I just go about the day, you know, because eventually sometimes, you know, people may think that I don't know when not to say nothing. Oh, but trust me, I have my silent moments, baby. Well, I will ignore the door crap out of your ass. And you
right,
will be like, I know she see this, yes, because you see the little eyeball at the bottom of it, but I'm not responding. And you clearly know why, because your ass ain't LD and stuff, you know.
right, right.
Definitely. Nonetheless, we got to come back again and do another a session. I'm glad that we know at least IG works. So what we can
I
do is
get
like,
the word.
okay, we have no problem connecting on this.
Right.
All our
No
followers
interruptions or
on
nothing.
Facebook, you know. But
Right.
they are there. Eventually, they just can follow us here because maybe maybe the divine is saying build this platform up too, you know.
Facts, facts. That could
But
be what it is, for sure, for sure. I
yeah, but
wish
I
we could
want
get
to do
that
us.
Facebook thing working, but it's all good though. I can definitely do some work on this Instagram page because damn, I'm lacking when it comes to building this Instagram up, so I could pay a little bit more attention
It needs
to it.
some attention. It needs some TLC, you know. And we're
Right, right,
universal people, so we probably should start really tapping into our other platforms and stuff like that a little more often too, you know.
right.
But again, I definitely enjoy being able to work with you guys, the Groundings team, y'all. www.ashleysgrounding.com. Book your meditation session, book your readings, book your birth natal chart reading. I mean, this guy is definitely somebody who can help you, you know, find out if you're compatible with the person you're dating and all of that. Your birth natal chart is completely important. That's really your true birth certificate. Your true fingerprint is your birth natal chart. But I
Facts,
do want
facts
to
right there.
tell people too, be careful about these spiritual leaders because they not all who they say they are. You know, some people do just want to take your money. So just be able to understand the difference because the true spiritual leader is going to keep themselves in check at all times. And they're
At
going to
all
be true to
times.
themselves. Yes. And they're not going to be afraid to let you see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And they're not going to be afraid to call themselves out. Period.
Right. Period.
You
Period.
feel me? Oh,
If that
shit.
self reflection ain't happening, man, I tell you, it could go left real quick. But yeah, let's do this another time. Let's do this another time. As far as like, what's today? Monday? Let's do it
Yeah.
again Wednesday. I think we could do it
Okay.
like twice a week. You
Let's
know,
do it.
no
Talking
biggie.
tarot, y'all. Be on the lookout for talking tarot. I want to leave us with an everyday oracle energy and see what this says for us. All right. So we have affirmation for positive change. That means that we're still headed for some good stuff. So we need to keep manifesting. Earth magic. We got to keep cleansing our surroundings, cleansing our energies, staying grounded. Um, Air magic. All right. So we're
Okay.
cleansing our thoughts, keeping our thoughts cleansed and pure, keeping our energy balanced and stuff like that, staying grounded, staying balanced. And our communication. I see this too about my communication. Clarity of communication, inspiration, and courage. Wow. So this
Right.
is what we do. We are definitely inspired to have the courage to get out here in front of people and spread this love, and joy and delight,
Joy and
and
delight.
have
There we
fun
go.
with it while we do it.
Right. For sure. If it ain't
Yeah,
fun, shit, it ain't none. You know.
for real. There it is. Put the joy in it. I like this. Is there anything you want to make a comment on any one of these oracles?
No, not really. I feel like you hit the nail on the head with it. The only thing that I could say is, hey, if y'all trying to get an astrology reading, go ahead and book that astrology reading. You trying to learn anything from
Okay.
about your birth all the way into your death. And if y'all need to get in contact with anybody from the spirit realm, hit up Nairi, because she is a very, very powerful medium, the best one I know. So make sure
I
y'all definitely
appreciate
hit
that.
up Nairi for that.
I appreciate that. And by the way,
Certified grief counseling,
I
for
don't
real.
summon spirits in case people thinking that I don't go looking for people ancestors. They come to me. I just want to let people know that because you got some people that think that you summoning call. I don't call nobody's ancestors. I have to have a connection with that individual before I even get on the phone with them, or I don't take their money. Period. Because I don't make up shit and tell people. You
When I
know.
tell Nairi I'm like, hey, I got somebody that need a medium reading. You be like, hold on, is it her grandmama? Hold on, I think somebody
Yup.
coming through right now. like it be like that instant. I be like, damn, hold on, let me go ahead and get her booked real quick, real quick.
Right.
I
It
mean,
got to be an instant connection. If I don't get the connection and if I don't start seeing visions, because I'm not gonna do that to nobody because it's wrong.
right,
You don't play with people like that. But I
right, right.
enjoyed this, Atum. Let's do this again. Hopefully, me, you, and Ashley can get on here again and do some stuff. Maybe we can even come on here once we get enough people round up and we can do some pulls. You know what I'm saying from people
Yeah,
and build up our IG platform because it's
right.
definitely needed to start drawing some of them Facebook people up to the IG and stuff. Since it's
Most
easier
definitely.
to film here. So
Yeah,
on
I
that
mean, I
note,
like it. It's going pretty smooth. We got 7 people in here. I like it. So let's keep
yeah,
it going, and we can build on some more deep topics. You know what I'm saying? You know
yeah,
how we go. We can get that vibe going. I'm gonna come up with something real deep that we can talk about. Obviously, we had to let everybody know where we stand as far as like the separation is concerned when it comes to like certain people doing what we do. So, but
yes.
other than that, we bringing that knowledge, we bringing that powerful information. So thank
Yeah.
you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank y'all for having me a part of the Groundings team, baby. Let's get it. Y'all have really gave me so much validation in my journey. I love y'all. I'm ready to get this thing going. This was our first little talking tarot introduction. So next time, y'all, we're going to come with the bang, 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 the bitty, bitty bang. Okay?
Right,
And,
right.
yeah.
Let's
So
get it.
I appreciate y'all for joining. Next time, y'all, and bring some people on with y'all next time because this is going to get better and better and better as we get along, as we go along. So get ready for the Talking Tarot Guru with the Ashley's Grounding team, y'all. It's on and popping.
It's on and popping. Let's get it.
Let's get it, baby. On that note,
Hey, I got one of these things too. I don't know. I forget which one mine tuned to, but I was like, okay, let me pull mine out. You know, there we
yeah.
go.
Gotta have that sound bowl, baby. That was our shake to our whole hookup. Because it's going to get
Right.
better and better, baby. It's on and popping. I love you guys. And I guess we'll see y'all on the next Talking Tarot.
All right.
Peace.
Let's do it. Talking tarot.
Yeah.
Peace, Nairi.
Peace, baby.